銀河鉄道39。
Okay, let's finish off Chapter 3 of Volume 18 of Galaxy Express 39. This is the second to last chapter before the final chapter, the end of the series. Chapter 3 again was Kosho Doke, breakdown or failure clock or clocks. They've landed on a planet where everything is a clock, and apparently a lot of them are kosho, broken down. Tetsuro had landed on a pile of spare parts. He had fallen through a hole in the wall in the hotel, and Meitoru came after him, and then they got sucked down this pipe with all these parts and kind of landed in apparently this ball, and Tetsuro was remarking how the gravity wasn't as strong. And Meitoru was asking, what the hell basically is this marui katamari, this round ball of junk? So that's where we pause. Let's finish it off. Okay, and so they are in kind of like a spherical thing, and all these holes are dumping parts here into the middle, so it is a ball that they're on. Yappari yokomiru to toki no buhin no yamada. As I thought, or as one would think, if looking well, it's a mountain of parts of clocks. So as I thought, when you look at it well, it's just a mountain of clock parts. Buhin no katamari. Katamari again is junk. Junk parts or parts of junk. Kore zentai ga. This thing is like all bodies. Is it all of them? Is it all parts, all bodies? There we go. They're kind of like big, tall panels here. Koko wa 17隻の中の中心空洞 Oh, cave. 外れた部品が集まるところ As for this, Planet 17 Stones core cave? Central cave? A like cast off or separated parts collecting place? Hazureta here. Yeah, to be disconnected, to be out of gear. That's ironic. So remember that the name of the planet is actually this. It's 17 Stones. That's why he says, as for this place, it's the like central cave or central cavity of the planet 17 Stones. And then he's, I guess, asking or wondering, is it a place where it's collecting disconnected, out of place, out of gear parts? Ishu no gomisuteba janai ka? Assuming that's Meitoru, it's a type of like garbage heap, isn't it? Meitoru doesn't normally talk like that, though, so it could still be Tetsuro. So this might be Meitoru. Either way, gomisute is thrown away trash, and ba their place, so like a garbage dump. Gomisute. Yeah, a dump site. So it's a type of dump site, isn't it? Or a kind of that. Watashi tachi wa dareka ni muriari koko e tsurete korareta yo ne. As for us, by somebody, muriari. Muriari is that like against the will? Yeah, forcibly. By somebody, forcibly to this place, brought and came, it appears to be. So it appears we were brought here to this place forcibly by somebody. Dareka ni, by somebody. Toketsuro ni shikake o shite. Tsuro. So a clock passage, shikake. What is she saying? Toke tsuro.
Hello there.
Hello there, Tsuro. So Tsuro is just passageway or aisle. So into a clock passageway, shikake. Oh, being tricked into? Shikake, oh. Or like a device, a trick, a mechanism. Doing a trick or mechanism of clock passageway. Doing a trick or mechanism of a clockwork passageway. Or setting up that. Something along those lines. She makes that comment and then a voice responds. So this is someone else. Soda. That's right. It is that way. Watashi ga kimi tachi o soko e tsurekonda. I am the one you guys to that place put in or brought. I'm the one that brought you guys to that place. Hora ne nanori de dete kita wa. See, you know, the name or whatever came out. Nanori. Oh, introducing oneself. Nanori deru is to introduce or to announce oneself. So, see, they're introducing themselves. Zuzushi yatsu da. It is a zuzushi yatsu. Oh, yeah. Shameless, impudent. What? And then a shameless or impudent person. Okay. Again, if you haven't seen this before, I am doing my best to show what's in here near the middle of the book, but I'm trying not to open it too much because the book runs the risk of cracking open. And I would like to avoid that. Anata wa donata? As for you, who? So who are you? Koko de watashi tachi ni nani o sasetai no? In this place, to us or for us, what wanting to make do? Like, what do you want us to do here in this place? Watashi wa 17 seki da. As for me, I am 17 stones. I am 17 stones. 17 seki da tte. 17 stones you are. You're 17 stones, you say. Kono wakusei no na to onaji da. It's the same as the name of this planet. Like, that's the same as the name of this planet. Wakusei 17 seki-san. Mr. Planet 17 Stones? Suruto. Oh. So that's Meituru. Saying like, oh, this is Mr. 17 Stones Planet? Suruto, kono hoshi ga shabetteru no ka? That means, therefore, this planet is the one talking? So da. That's right. Watashi wa wakusei 17 seki kono hoshi jishin da. That's right. As for me, I am the planet 17 stones, this planet itself. I'm this planet proper. 17 seki-san, それであなたの要求は何? So, Mr. 17 Stones, with that, as for your aim or purpose, what? What is it? What do you want? Yoku. Yeah. Demand, requirement, etc. Tasukete kure. Do the favor of helping. Help me. Tasukete kure. Help you. Soda. Tasukete kure. That's right. Do the favor of helping. Help me. Okay. その部品の球体はみんな私の体中のおびただしい時計から外れた集まったものだ。Okay, so as for those parts of Kyutai, the spherical body of parts, as for that spherical body of parts, all of them, inside my body, obitadashi. Obitadashi means large number, innumerable, vast clocks. So because of that, because all of that ball and whatever is, again, like a vast number of clocks that are like inside me, inside my body, they are things that are collected and cast off. Okay? この星の機械人間は As for the mechanized people of this planet, 時計については、ここの古いゼンマイで、動くタイプの時計については、無知なものばかりだ。Okay. As for the mechanized people of this planet, as for concerning watches or clocks, indeed, this place's old spring work or clockwork with that moving type of clocks about that, as for that, unknowledgeable people only it is. Okay, so as for the mechanized people of this planet, they are only people that are ignorant about clocks of the type that move by springs in the old way, basically. The planet starts to say about clocks in general, but then gets more specific and says about clocks of the type that move through zenmai, old zenmai. Again, zenmai is like spring mechanisms. It is zenmai, right? Oh, yeah, zenmai, typed in senmai. Yeah, spring. Okay. Now, this looks like this might be now Meituru. This was clearly the planet. Oh, this is probably Tetsuro. Yoho happo kara kikoete doko ni ongen ga aru no ka wakaranai ya. Yeah, that's Tetsuro. From every direction. So this is 4 directions and 8 directions. So from every directions, able to hear in what place the source of the sound existing, I don't know. So Tetsuro's just remarking, like, it sounds like the sound of the voice is coming from all directions and I can't tell where it's coming from. The planet continues to talk. Koshou sureba shuri wa suru ga sore ga ii kagen de. Okay. Kosho, right? We saw that in the title of the chapter. It's breakdown or failure. If do breakdown or if do failure, as for repairs, will do, but that thing, it's enough. Or it's like ikagen. It's ikagen de. It's irresponsible, maybe? We'll go with that. It's careless, it's lukewarm, it's half-baked. Normally you see ikagen in a command that's like ikagen nishiro, which is like, enough. I'm sick of this. We're done. Unfortunately, ikagen de can mean like it's reasonable, it's irresponsible, it's half-baked, or it's considerable. Anyway, if do breakdown, as for repairs, will do, but that thing is half-baked, irresponsible, who knows? Kubi tatete miru to, taite mitsu yotsu buhin ga amatte nokoru, sore ga kono kyutai da. Okay, this is, if you recall the opening phrase at the beginning of the chapter in the previous section that we read. There was a comment about 2 types of clocks, the types that don't move anymore. I think if you're missing a part, and then the types that still work even if you're missing 2 or 3 or 4 parts or springs or screws or whatever. So he's saying here, if you try to, I guess, reassemble, kumitatete. Yeah. If tried to assemble, generally 3 or 4 parts, amate nokoru, they're left over. So if you try to assemble something, or when you try to assemble something, generally there's 3 or 4 parts left over. Yeah, to remain and be in excess and to be remaining. That is this ball of objects, this body, this kyutai, this sphere. So this is those parts that are left over when things get reassembled. その結果時計という時計は今やでたらめ。でたらめ. That's yeah, irresponsible, random, haphazard. Okay. That resulting clock thing called a clock. As for the clock that's called a clock, a resulting clock or an effective clock? Yeah. As for the resulting clock that's called a clock, right now it is irresponsible, random, haphazard. Okay. 全惑星に広がる私の体の時計は to the entire planet, spreading me body clocks. So as for the clocks of my body that spread across the entire planet, 一つとして同じ時間を指しているものはない。One same time denoting thing does not exist. So not even one of all the clocks that spread across of my body that spread across the entire planet, not even one denotes the same time. So one, the same time. Sasu means to point out the time. To indicate. So even one that points out the same time does not exist. So there's not even one there. どれがこの空間の正しい時間なのかも今ではもうわからない。Who this space correct time なのかも might be answer with now already like not understanding. Basically, like there's no one at this point that knows what the actual correct time is. So どれがこの空間の正しい時間なのか? Oh, なのかも. It's not かも as in like かもしれない. It's this is a question. Who this space correct time question mark also as for being now already not knowing. So again, there's no one at this point who can know the correct time. As for at this point, nobody knows. Nobody knows the correct time. Okay. That works. We're getting there. 私は時間のわからない空間を漂っているんだ. As for me, time not understanding space, 漂っている. Oh, okay. To drift, to float. As for me, I am drifting, floating in a space of unknowable time or space of unknown time. Okay. 正確な時間をなぜ知る必要があるの? Correct time, why knowing necessity exists. So why is it necessary to know the correct time? 人との約束を守るためだ. With people's promise protecting for that purpose. So it's for protecting promises with people. 時間を知りたいからだ. Time, want to know, that's why. That's why I want to know the time. ここのレストランでは、ここのレストランでは3分のお約束が3時間経ってもダメだったわ。This place's restaurant, as for at it, 3 minutes of a promise, even taking 3 hours, was no good, you know? So we saw that in the previous chapter. The waitress said it would be 3 minutes, and 3 hours later, the ramen came. So again, as for at restaurants in this place, it's no good when a 3-minute promise takes even 3 hours. この星は時間の約束を守らないので有名なところ。As for this planet, time's promise because not able to protect or to keep, because of that, it's a famous place. So she's saying this, as for this planet, it is famous. It's a famous place because of not protecting or keeping promised time. There's no response from the planet. 17世紀は惑星帯になる前、とってもルーズで有名だった。Oh, loose. Wait. Yeah, loose. Loose? Yeah, loose. Okay, so she's whispering to Tetsuro, as for 17 stones, before becoming a planetary body, very much with the rules, or very much being slovenly or slack, was famous. Toke collector nano, a watch collector. とてもルーズで有名だ. Being very loose, very slovenly slack was famous, and was a watch collector. それがなぜ時計よ? That thing, why clocks? I guess that's maybe Tetsuro asking that. それがなぜ時計よ? Like with all that, then like why clocks? Maybe, meaning of like if he was slovenly, careless and whatever, why did he collect clocks? 時計が好きなのと時間を守るのは全く別のことなのよ. Okay. Clocks being likable or lovable, and as for protecting time or keeping time, completely separate things they are. So, as for loving watches and clocks, and as for keeping time, protecting time, again, they're completely different things. Huh. Okay. That's pretty funny. 助けてくれというのは、つまり、ここの時計を全部修理しろということですね。Oh boy. As for the thing called doing the favor of helping, what that means is this place's clocks, all of them do repairs. It's that sort of event, isn't it? So when you say help me, what you mean is fixing all of the clocks in this place, right? そうだ. That's right. It is that way. やってくれなくちゃここから出さないのだ. That's right. If not doing the favor of doing that, from this place will not go out. So basically, if you don't do that, then you won't leave this place. This is yate kora nakute. Again, kind of like if you don't do that, then you're not going to get out. Okay. 助けてくれと言いましたよね。助けてくれと言いましたは、言いましたね。Doing the favor of helping or saving said, right? 助けてくれと言っただから。Do the favor of saving or helping because said. Okay, there's some distinction here that I'm missing a little bit. Maybe like again, said will do, said will help. 言いましたね. Didn't you? Or didn't we? 助けてくれ言っただから. It's because said will help, will do the favor of. Again, I'm not quite getting what the banter is here. Meitaru responds, 助けてあげればここから出してくれるのですね。17席さん. If do the favor of helping from this place, it's doing the favor of letting out or getting out. Right, Mr. 17 Sons? そうだ、出してやる. That's right. We'll do the favor of letting out or going out. アンドロメダ56の第763章を読みなさい. Okay. So she's telling him to read a certain chapter of the law. Sayings. Or she's saying, please read number 783 chapter of Andromeda Goroku, the Andromeda sayings or Andromeda Analects. Okay, there's silence, and then Soka wakatta un. I see. Understood, yeah. Yoku wakatta. Well understood. Wakatta kara dashite yaru. Because understood, we'll do the favor of letting out. So, because I got it, I'll let you out. Yare yare. Gracious me. Goodness. Okay. Interesting dialogue here. Oh, we are eventually going to see this thing. Oh, we still have a lot of pages to go. Okay. よかった列車に間に合わないかと思いましたよ。時間ですよ、もう。Oh, I'm glad to the train not being in time. I thought you wouldn't be in time for the train. It's time, you know, already. 車掌さんの時計は相変わらず正確なんだね. As for the clock of Mr. Conductor, as always, as expected, it's correct, you know? Okay. Whoa, there goes the train. 本を読ませただけで助けたことになるなんてどう言うんだろう? Okay, a book making read with just that and saved event becoming, how could that be? What sort of a thing is it, I wonder? So what could it be? How could you save us by just making read a book? おかしいですよ。はい. It's strange or funny, you know? It is, indeed. Yeah, amusing. It's laughable. どうしたの、車掌さん? What's wrong, Mr. Conductor? ほら、17隻が動き出したんですよ. See, look. 17 stones, movement begun. It's begun to move. 星が動き出した? The planet has begun to move. We'll see who this is. Is this the planet? 完全に軌道を外れて思い切ってよその空間へ行くつもりです. This could be the conductor. So perfectly or completely separating from the trajectory or the orbit. 思い切って. Isn't that like to think with all one's might? Oh boy. Okay. Yoso no kukan e iku tsumori desu. So it's the intent of going to that space over there. Yoso means like a different, somewhere else. Yeah, another place. So again, it's the intent of going toward a space or a place somewhere else. But I don't know, omoikitte, is this like resolutely, boldly doing that? Or giving up all thoughts on doing that? That doesn't make sense here. Or to make up one's mind to do that. That's probably it. So completely separating from the orbit. Completely separating. That's right. Yeah. Completely getting out of place of the orbit or the trajectory. It's the intent of going to another place. Again, like either this idea of doing that boldly or making up its mind in doing that. Okay, maybe we'll get more explanation as to what that means and what's going on. We're going to see what she had told him to read. Andromeda Goroku Dai 783 Sho. So Andromeda Chronicles or sayings, number 783 chapter. この世の空間の果てなるところに理想郷ありと個人の言う古来人々の底へ生きて帰るものなし. Okay. This world's spaces, hate naru tokoro, places that become at the end of space. Hate naru. Oh, okay. Hate. Oops. Hate naru tokoro ni. Okay. Riso kyo. Ideal land, the utopia existing, ancient peoples called Kodai. Again, it's just like in ancient times, from time immemorial. Okay, so from time immemorial, the things of ancient people that I guess it was the existence of this utopia that was a place existing at the limits of space of this world. Travelers to that place, going and returning people nashi. Why does she say nashi? Because I would have said that's without. I don't know why there's a nashi there. Hey, Jem, how's it going? Okay, so she introduces the Andromeda Chronicle thing. This world's space is end of the limits place. To that place, in that place, the thing called utopia that was in existence, or that ancient people called utopia since ancient times. Okay, so utopia existing in there. Travelers to that place, going and returning people. Okay. Anyway, let's see what this says. I guess that's hito no yo. Hito no yo no tsutsuku kagiri, hitobito wa riso kyo o mezasu nani hito mo izuko. Nani hito mo izuko ni. Izuko ni. This is going to be written in some like really old language, right? Izuko ni. Izuko ni sono riso kyo no aru ka o shirazu nan to nareba ikite kari kitaru mono no naki ga yue nai. No, yue nari. Okay. This feels like a little bit of a paraphrase of what she was just saying. Yue nari? That is definitely a ri and not an e. That's e. That's an e. So that's not yue nai. That's yue nari. Huh. And mono no naki. Maybe this is a whole thing. Naki ga yue. No. Naki ga yue nai. Or yue nari. Okay. Naki, I don't even know where to begin with this. Okay. Well, People's World continuing limit travelers. So as for travelers at the limit of continuing of the world of people, utopia aiming for what people even, where and to what place that utopia existence, or where is that utopia existing without knowing, nan to nareba, somehow going and returning and coming back people, it's their naki ga yue nari. Okay, not helpful. Tsutai kiku riso kyo sono na mo muji. Toi shimo itsu no yo no dare zo. Transmitted and hearing utopia, that name also, muji, is being good when itsu no yo no dare so. Wow. Muji. Plain, unfigured. What else could muji mean? No. As in like a Zen answer. Okay, I don't know what to make of that. Sono basho o mitaru ka wa とはにわからず、ただその実在するの確かなることのみ長きにわたり語られたり。I have zero clue with this. This is so obtuse. Okay, well, let's see what we can try to peck apart. Sutta, To learn by hearsay. Okay. Even that name, that named utopia, learned by hearsay, Muji to Ishimo. I guess even calling it Muji, maybe like without name. When, who of what world or who from when world, that place, seeing. As for that, Towani, that's like eternally, without understanding, just that truth doing, and a certainty, a certain event itself, for a long time passing story being told. The language is really beyond me. This would be like reading thee and thine and all that stuff, I think, where it's just like, nobody talks like this anymore, and I don't know how to do it. So I don't even know where to begin with this. It's the whole damn thing. It's the whole damn thing. Wow. Well, let's... What has me most frustrated is this was clearly the passage she said for the planet to read, and it's why the planet did what it said, but I have no idea. Okay, maybe this then means the hearsay utopia, the rumored utopia, that name also, if you called it nothing, that would be good. Meaning like maybe suggesting that that rumored utopia really just doesn't exist. The G there is likely Tsuchi. So like mu, nothing, land, a nothing land. Saying that is good. Okay. Okay, so I guess, well, itsu, maybe when or how soon, who of that world, that place has seen, eternally, like without knowing. It's eternally unknowable. Who has actually seen that world and at what point, maybe.
Oh, ha, ha, ha,
Ta-da.
ha.
And then again, just that existence, the certainty of it becoming itself is eternally, I guess, again, passed as a story. Yeah, and this is like, I guess, niwatari? Let's see if that's over a span of throughout over a period. Yeah, okay. Like this is like what the story was told over a period of eternity of the event becoming the certainty of the existence of that thing or that place. Okay. So all right, this is all again, right? This is apparently just a lot of poetic and kind of older language, which is why I'm having, I think, such a hard time with it. Talking about this utopia and people aiming for it and all that stuff, but then basically that it really doesn't exist, but it was rumored, I guess, throughout the ages. That's kind of the sense of it. I guess that's the passage she had the planet read. I feel like I should come back at this some point and break this down a lot more, a lot better, but I think that's the general point. We'll see, though. That's very unsatisfying. We'll see if there's some explanation on their part about why that would cause the planet to do what it did. 17隻は時のないところへ行くつもりなんだ. Okay, so as for 17 stones, it's the intent of going to a place where time doesn't exist. 時の針がどこを指していても関係のない理想郷. Time's needles, or the hands of time, what place pointing to, even whatever place they're pointing to, relationship not existing utopia. So a utopia where there's no relationship no matter where the hands of time are pointing. Jika no nai sekai, a world of no time. そんなところが本当にあるんでしょうか? That sort of a place truly exists, I wonder. Does such a place really exist, I wonder? もしあれば私も行きたいわね, Tetsuro. If exists, I also want to go, you know, Tetsuro? Okay, so I guess it's funny because I guess I didn't quite get the part about like time, not whatever. But the point being is she suggested to the planet that there's a place where it wouldn't matter that the clocks weren't pointing to the right time because time would have no meaning. So that's why it left. Jika no nai sekai ga aru to sureba. A time not existing world. Aru to sureba. Aru to sureba. It do existing? Aru to sureba. Or something like if you do the existence of a world where time doesn't exist. Soko dewa, as for in such a place, as for there, namami no karara mo kikai no karara mo kawari ga nai no kamoshiranai. Yeah, so as for in such a place, or as for in that place, even flesh and blood bodies, even machine bodies, changing, not existing probably. So, basically, if such a world existed or in such a world, flesh and blood, machine bodies, they probably wouldn't change.
Hello there.
Hello there. Okay, we're close. We got 3 pages left, and this page is fortunately sparse. The next one is not. 時間がないのだから、とはの命も限りある命も同じことになる。Time not existing because Towa, you don't see that too well. Eternity. Even eternal life and even like life at the limit, it's the same thing becoming. Okay. So basically, again, if time doesn't exist, then it becomes the same thing, eternal life and kagiri aru. Oh, I guess it's like life with a limit. Life with a limit and limitless life, eternity, become the same. If time doesn't exist, dochira demo ii koto ni naru. Whichever one it is, it becomes a good thing, or becomes a good event. Okay, well, there we go. We get these 4 tall panels here as the planet 17 stones passes out of sight here. Soko de wa nani mo hajimarazu, nani mo owaranai. As for in that place, nothing beginning and nothing ending. Okay. And we get a lot of dialogue. Let's go. 17隻はうまくそこへ行けるといいね. As for 17 stones, skillfully or well, to that place, able to go. That's good, right? Or if able to go. If able to go skillfully or well to that place, that's good, right? 誰も知らないところを探すのですからね。大変ですよね。Nobody knowing place searching because searching for a place that nobody knows, that's terrible. It's tough, you know? メーテルは時間のないところを見たことがあるのかい? As for Meiteru, a time not existing place, seeing event, does it exist? So Meiteru, have you ever seen a place where time doesn't exist? Yep. この39も時々時間のないところを通り抜けてきたわ. Even this 39, sometimes time not existing places comes and passes through. So sometimes even the 39 passes through places where time doesn't exist. 時間が止まっているところを通り抜けても気がつかないだっけ? Time stopping and even passing through places. Oh, I guess even passing through places where time stops. It's just not noticing that. 気がつかない. Not being aware of it. Yeah. It's just not noticing when passing through places where time is stopped. 時間が止まってまた動き出しても time stops and again even when it starts. So like not noticing that. 鉄道には切れ目なく続いているとしか感じない. As for tetsuro, without kireme, without a break or pause, continuing, it's only feeling. Shika kanjinai. No choice but to feel the continuing without a break. Oh, she's basically saying, as for tetsuro, I guess you only feel it continuing without a break. The starting and the stopping of time. メートルは時間が止まっているところを通っ ている間、つまり、時間がないところでも変わらず。wait, でも変わらず。でも変わらず. What does he mean there with that? Okay. As for meitoru, time stopping places, the periods of passing through places where time is stopping. As for meitoru. What that means is time not existing, place or whatever. Kawarazu. Without knowing, even without knowing? Okay, he's not finishing his sentence. Yeah, so she's making the implication that he doesn't notice when they pass through the places where time starts and stops again. He doesn't notice the gap. So then Tetsuro's asking basically that period of passing through places where time stops. As for Meitoru, what that means is time not existing, place or whatever, I guess, ... without changing, meaning you don't change, you notice it, but he doesn't finish off that comment. 39も私も時が止まろうとどうしようとやむことはない. Even the 39, even me, or both of us, time trying to stop what do. As for stopping events, they don't exist. Resting events. As for resting events of like what to do, tomaro to toki. Time tomaro to doshio to yasumu koto wa nai. So as for events of resting with this, they don't exist. Okay, I'm going to come back to that. Jikan ga nai kukan demo. Time not existing, even space with time not existing. Jikan ga doko e mukatte nagarete iru tokoro demo. Time to what place, flowing towards places even. As watashi wa nemuru koto mo nai onna. As for me, a sleeping event, a not existing woman. Like I'm a woman that doesn't sleep. Jikan ga nai kukan demo. Jikan ga doko e mukatte nagarete iru tokoro demo. Okay. Okay. I guess she's observing various places. Even in space where time doesn't exist, even in places where the flowing time flows somewhere. As for me, like I'm a woman that doesn't sleep. And in other words, I guess she notices it all. Yasumu koto wa nai. To be absent. Maybe that's better. Tsurinai watashi mo toki ga tomarou to doshio to yasumu koto wa nai. Maybe this is like there's no break. There's no break from seeing this stuff happen. Let me do, oops. There's no good way for me to do this. Down here. I'm going to end up breaking the book. Okay, the 3-9, me also. Time, I guess maybe this could also be time if stopping. Then as for resting events and like what should I do, that does not. Okay, I guess resting events do not exist. Yeah, I guess time, even if it stopped, then like even me resting would not stop. Maybe that's a way to take that. And but I'm also noticing finally, she's also equating herself with the 3-9. So me and the 3-9. Time, if it stops. As for events of like resting and taking a break, I'm like, what should I do? That does not exist. That wouldn't happen. It wouldn't be a break, even if time stopped. Okay. And then we got the rest of this. A woman that doesn't sleep. And about time not existing places. Okay. Oof. This is a rough chapter, man. Who knows what the final chapter is going to be like. I think it's going to be a lot like this. There's going to be some really hard chapters in here. Okay. Here's our final little scene here. This is the second to last chapter again. So getting close to wrapping up. I think it's also why we're getting these very reflective chapters about Meiteru and her journey and this idea. So what do we get in conclusion here? 時間が止まってる間、メイトルは何をしてるのだろうか? Time, stopping period. As for Meiteru, what doing, I wonder. So this is like Tetsuro is going to be thinking this. So when time stops, during the point where time stops, as for Meiteru, what does she do, I wonder? そう考えると Tetsuro は As for Tetsuro, who was thinking that, 少し恐ろしくなった. As for Tetsuro, who was thinking that way, he became a little bit angry? No, scared. No, 恐ろしく. 恐ろしい. Yeah, terrified. He became a little bit terrified, although it can also mean surprised, startled. しかし、Tetsuro はメイトルを信じている. However, as for Tetsuro, believing in Meiteru. So as for Tetsuro, he believes in Meiteru. 宇宙で一番優しい人だと信じている. In the universe, the most gentle or kind person is believing. He believes in Meiteru, believing she's the most gentle, kind person in the universe. たとえメイトルが魔女だったとしても、Tetsuroの考えは変わらない. If Meiteru is a witch, or were a witch, even if that were the case, Tetsuro's thoughts, as for that, will not change. Tetsuro wouldn't change his thoughts, even if she were a witch. Okay. Wow. Very difficult chapter. But that is the end of chapter 3. And that is the end of the second to last chapter of the book, or of the series. So, that is the end of chapter 3. We will move on to chapter 4 next. Heads up, chapter 4 is written in 5 parts. A little preview. There will be Sonoichi through Sonogo. So it is over 100 pages. They will all be long. We will probably do them in 5 or 6 parts. We'll see as we make our way through. But we'll be moving on to the final chapter next